Now we are joined from New York by a professor at SUNY Maritime College, Mark Meirowitz. Thank you, sir, for joining us here on Asia One. And well, Professor Meirowitz, as America marks 250 years of independence, how does this moment compare to past periods where U.S. naval power shaped diplomacy in the Gulf?
I mean, look, America is the preeminent naval power in the world. America projects its naval power throughout the world. It's definitely a challenge to American naval power and influence. We had it before with the Houthis, who were attacking American ships in the Red Sea, and now we have the problem of the Strait of Hormuz. But I'm absolutely confident and in the power and the resilience of the American Navy to be able to deal with this situation if necessary, and open the Strait of Hormuz if necessary. So again, I think it hasn't reshaped anything. It's a consistent performance of excellence by the United States Navy in the Gulf and elsewhere.
And look, while the Strait of Hormuz remains the flashpoint in the Doha talks from a maritime law standpoint, does Iran have any legal basis for its toll and joint sovereignty claims with Oman?
I think that the Strait of Hormuz, to me, is really an extraneous issue. It's an international transit. It's a strait that has international rights of international transit passage. From a maritime law perspective, international straits have a right of free transit. So to answer your question, I mean, I would humbly say that Iran doesn't have any basis at all, in law or otherwise, for charging a toll. And if they call it a service fee, it's still a toll. So they can't do that. And joint sovereignty claims, I mean, truth of the matter is international strait. And I think the law of the sea is very clear as far as delineating the difference between territorial sea and international waterways. And these international waterways need to be kept open. So I think that I'm sure they're going to figure something out on this issue. But from a maritime law standpoint, I don't think that there is a legal basis for the claim by Iran that it has sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, or that it has a right to charge a toll or a service fee.
And look, Mr. Meirowitz, 250 years on, is freedom of navigation still the guiding principle of U.S. Middle East strategy, or has the Strait of Hormuz exposed its limits here?
Freedom of navigation is a bedrock, basic tenet of United States foreign policy and United States strategy in the Middle East or elsewhere. And I think that most of the world agrees with this, because if you don't have, freedom of navigation, and if you don't have open seas, then you have no possibility to have international commerce and international civilization. So I think the answer is the Strait of Hormuz has not shown the limits of any kind. It shows a challenge to freedom of navigation. It shows how freedom of navigation, as in the past, has had issues like this. But the world community, working with the United States, have to solve this. Otherwise, you will not have free transit and shipping through international straits and international waters. So my answer to your point is 250 years on, freedom of navigation is as important as it has always been.
All right, and now with talks stalled over the MOU, Hormuz and shipping provisions, what happens to international shipping law if its interim deal collapses?
It's clear that when you say international shipping law, I mean, clearly, I think that the discussions on the MOU related to Hormuz does not change anything in international shipping law or international maritime law. It has no effect on it. It's just a deal that the United States is entering into with Iran, and also clearly with the effect on the nations that are shipping and trading through these straits. And so but that's a deal. That's a political transaction. That does not change international law. It doesn't. And I'm pretty confident that in the long run, international law will prevail. That's always been the case, and the United States is the greatest promoter of international law, and America has followed international law, even when that is detrimental to American national interests. So at the end of the day, hopefully the talks will get off being stalled, and we'll be able to work something out, and then we'll just move on ahead, and hopefully the strait will open. If that doesn't happen, then I think a lot of things will happen, but international law will certainly not change, and certainly not because one country, one state decides it has another idea of how to interpret the international provisions, the maritime law.
Professor Meirowitz, thank you so much for being here on Asia One, and thanks for your insights.